Good evening and welcome to tonight's broadcast of the Total Nonstop Racing League here from Nashville Super Speedway. This is the Flying Pig 120. Joining me in the booth, as always, is Joe. I am Bob, and tonight's race, Joe, is going to be an absolute blast. 33 cars out on track for this very tricky and deceptively so 1.3 mile racetrack.
Yeah, it's going to be a great race. This is actually one of my favorite tracks. So I see a lot of people here in practice seem to agree since they are all under a blanket during practice.
Yeah, the top 10, all roughly, I don't know, less than a tenth of a second separating each other. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see how these drivers just kind of navigate this tight racetrack. We'll jump on board here with Jeff Price to get you a look at what this track looks like here at Nashville Super Speedway. And you actually have to use a lot more brake than you would expect. You actually have to, use the brakes unlike you would for a regular 1.5 mile track. And the concrete is there too, so the track doesn't get nearly as heated as it typically would for a regular asphalt track. So certainly going to be an interesting time and a little bit of a difference for these drivers to race at as this one goes on.
Yeah, it's fun. Concrete does make a big difference, as does, I'm sure, the weather a little bit today.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, taking a look at the weather here, 89 degree air temp, 106 degree track temp. So may not be as hot as it would be if this was all asphalt, but still 106 degrees is quite toasty out there.
Yeah, definitely not a barefoot walking temps.
Yeah, no, don't take the dog for a walk in these temps, that's for sure. And there's the 400 of Matt Schlosser, currently a 30.968, already beating his practice time. The track has quickened up a little bit between practice and qualifying. Practice, the guys were running low 31s, now high 30s, so definitely some guys picking up some time. There's Ryan Shelton, our fastest so far on the board. Does a 30.85 as his best time. There's Jeremiah Vincent in the number 8 Camaro. Great looking chromed out machine. The Junior Motorsports 8 on the side of the car. Philip Scott coming across. Sliding through the grass.
Making sure we mentioned Shoe a little early this race, huh?
Yeah, definitely doing the sponsor of Shoes Landscaping justice. Here's the 9 of Colton Easterday. Easterday hadn't raced in a little bit. He earlier in Discord was saying, all right, guys, what do I do here? I haven't driven in a while. It's like riding a bike. He's P16 thus far. There's 41 of Austin Wingard driving up off of pit road. Here's the 4 of Adam Stewart in the weltsclothing.com machine. Both he and his son Scott are big supporters here, the folks here at Tabletop Trio. Sponsoring the Through the Field segment, sponsoring all the super speedway races. So make sure you show them some love. Check them out, weltsclothing.com.
Your stuff is so comfy.
It really is. I'm wearing one of the tanks right now, and it has been my go-to, just like hanging out at home shirt, especially in the summer.
Yeah, I definitely see with the tank that I got. And I am happy to report, so far, washing the graphic tee has not made it disintegrate.
which makes it that much better. There is the number 19 of Scott Leonard in the Nudge Printing Mustang. Scott, the sponsor for tonight's race, so make sure you show Nudge Printing some love as well. As just like that, looks like the qualifying session has ended. We're going to swap over to the race. And on the pole for tonight's race is going to be the 54 of Ryan Shelton. Let's see if we can get ourselves a good camera view here of the starting grid. But let's take a look at the starting lineup for tonight's Flying Pig 120 here at Nashville Super Speedway. Ryan Shelton gets the pole with a lap time of 30.853. And on his outside is the 5 of Cosmet INSU. Row number 2 is Adam Boyslard and Ethan Amberg, with Matt Schlosser and Jeff Dillon making up row number 3. Row number 4 is Shane Ewing alongside Martin Plute, with Bryce Hedgecock and Jeremiah Vincent in row number 5. Row number 6, we see Philip Scott alongside Justin Malillo, Manazzi Major and Ace House in row number 7. Row number 8 is Austin Wingard and Brandon Finley, with Colton Easterday and Brandon Bookwald in row 9. Row 10 is Quinton Sylvia and Jeff Price, with Steve Bivacqua and Adam Stewart in row 11. Row number 12 is Mitchell Adams and Eric Jeffrey. Row number 13, we see Tyler Cadd with William Ratcliffe, Mark McFadden, and Ray Payne Jr. in row 14. Row 15 is Tim Branson with Ryan Newman. Scott Leonard, our sponsor here tonight, in 31st, with Jason Shue in 32nd. And rounding out our 34-car field for tonight is going to be Robert Tripp alongside Stan Hausman.
Love these big pack races.
Right? I mean, how awesome is this? The fact that we have 34 cars out on the racetrack for a race here at Nashville Super Speedway. I mean, it's just a testament to the dedication both the guys at TNR and the overall drivers here of the Speed Cup Series have. I mean, it's so cool.
Yeah, you'll love to see it.
So the field getting ready to go green this time by Ryan Shelton and Cosmet INSU on the front row. Shelton leads the field down to green. Pace car pulls off. Waiting slowly to get into the restart zone they go. Green flag is in the air. And we are underway here at Nashville. Great start by the 54. He's going to jump out ahead of the 5. And everyone else minding their P's and Q's just behind them as they're side by side from just about third on back.
Great start on that bottom line.
Yeah, Shelton had a great jump. And, you know, look, that's one of the perks of being the pole sitters. You kind of have a better understanding of when the green flag is going to drop, because here at TNR the leader controls every single restart, but the initial start is always on the flagman. As we see here right now, and roughly P everywhere else, all the other drivers side by side all the way back. This here is a battle for the 6th position, or pardon me, 7th position. Hedgecock there in the 18. There's the 81 of Martin Plute. As it looks like a couple of guys got a little squirrely a little further back. Everything is okay, though.
Yeah, that was almost he saved it, but boy, did he drop a few in the process.
Last week's North Wilkesboro winner, Martin Clute, there trying to work the bottom. He does get around the 52 of Jeff Dillon, and he'll set his sights on the 18 of Hedgecock, who's side by side with Philip Scott. And this is one of those tracks that the start of a run, the car always feels great. You're loving it, you're driving in the corner, everything's fine. But then you do it a little too much, and those tires go away in a hurry, and it's very hard to slow them, or to slow down the degradation.
Ooh.
Well, looks like Justin Melillo going for a bit of a shoe lawn care company expedition through the grass. Able to keep it straight. Oh, man, Mark McFadden almost collected by the 53.
Looking like me circa NASCAR 99.
Yeah, let's take a look to see what happened there to the, the 52. If I can get this overlay. There we go. Thank you. As the 53 just gets a little loose coming out of the corner, and
You got a little tap, and that's it. You're going.
see if we can get that to go away one more time. That's just a little bit of contact there. And what a save.
Yeah, I mean, to come back in and not be, like, terribly in the back of the pack is a crazy save.
Yeah, you definitely can't complain there. As there is the 52 of Jeff Dillon. Driver out of Maryland. Meanwhile, we got a battle here for third. INSU has it. Schlosser trying to make the move. Oh, trouble out on the racetrack.
Yeah, I believe that was the 96. Brandon Buchwald? I'm going to say Buchwald.
Yeah, let's take a look to see what happened with the 96 here. Up at the top, oh, Wingard got loose, got down across the track, and got in. Whoa, Will Ratcliffe. Let's take one more look here. This time from the onboard of the 95, because, oh boy, does he get a view of that wreck.
Mm-hmm. A little too close.
Let's take a look here. So you're going to want to take a look at the black 42 there. Just in front is the 41. He gets sideways. Might have had a little bit of help getting into the corner. And then, whoa.
Yeah, that's one of those please move, please move, please move, please move, please move.
Yeah, go, 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 go. Uh-oh. Let's get one more look here. This time from the gearbox of the 41. Just a little bit of side-to-side contact. And honestly, though, not a whole lot of damage on either car.
Yeah, I mean, that could have been way worse.
So it looks like drivers 27th-ish on back. Jeremiah Vincent, Austin Wingard, Quentin Sylvia, Mark McFadden, Brennan Buchwald, Jason Shue, Scott Leonard, all making the trip down onto pit road.
I was going to say about what the pit strategy is, the 120-lap race, splitting it into a third, quarters. What are we looking at?
So, according to Martin Clute, looks like only a 65-lap pit window here for these cars. So, really only one stop if you're feeling lucky. Maybe a little saucy, too. But but field should be getting the one to go this time by. Working our first caution here on lap 10. Shelton chooses the bottom. Adam Boisler on his outside. And hey, why not choose the bottom? It worked for him on the initial start.
Yeah, really.
Plus, I mean, the bottom's really the best way to get around the racetrack. You can probably make a second groove happen. But at this point in the race, it may not be worth it, especially if you're only planning on making one pit stop. That being said, all the drivers who did duck down pit road, they still cannot make it the rest of the way.
Yeah, they're, according to our intel, would be now at lap 75.
Math checks out.
That was an easy one. That was a tee up.
Love those. Well, the pace car pulls off. Field yet again in control of Ryan Shelton. He's going to roll into the start zone. Green flag is out. We're rolling the 82, or pardon me, who was that? The 82 Manatee Major has a bit of a wheel spin.
Yeah, gunned it a little too hard.
Middle of the pack, a little bit checked up. Here comes Major to the inside of the 94 of Finley. Brennan Finley, one of the new drivers here at TNR. Just joined today, in fact. With honestly a pretty sweet looking Hello Kitty paint scheme. Big fan of that one. Like a Mike Floppy Tellier tribute to the Hello Kitty paint schemes that he ran a couple of seasons ago. Gave him a ton of luck, too.
Yeah.
A little further back, here's Adam Stewart racing with his teammate Ace House. Stewart up 8 positions since the drop of the green flag. That's kind of been Adam's MO all season, just kind of slowly work your way up through the field and be there at the end.
I mean, it has worked for him thus far. Other than, he gets a little unlucky here and there.
Maybe not Ace House levels of unlucky, but still.
Yeah, no, I feel like you have to work for those.
True. Now Martin Plute working to try to get some sort of draft. He'll tuck in behind the bumper of the 32 of Shane Ewing, and all he's trying to do is not let the 94 get down to the bottom lane there, but he may have enough room here. Joe, looks like that outside line is starting to be a little more viable here as the race goes on.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of these guys are going up high.
Oh, Adam Stewart hits the wall pretty hard. Doesn't look like a whole lot of damage there, but just got a little tight on the exit, and that's exactly what happens here. So a little more contact with he in the 9. Great save by Easterday. Let's take one more look at that. As the 4 just kind of came down there. Okay, apparently that is not what I was looking for. So back to live action here. Ryan Shelton opening up about a 0.2 of a second gap over the 06 of Adam Boisler. There's a 16 of Tyler Catt, a great looking paint scheme there.
Yeah, very clean.
Always love something just a little understated, very classic looking. And the 16 just kind of snags the wall a bit coming out of turn 2. Meanwhile, towards the front, Hedgecock and Amberg battling it out for P6. A little more contact there between he and the 14. Oh, man, they get so close to that wall coming out of the corner. It's like, oh, a little bit of trouble here for the 9 of Colton Easterday. Let's take a look here to see what happened to him. As he just looks like he has an issue and just gets out of the car.
Yeah, interesting.
So, tough break for the 9, returning back to TNR after a few weeks. And just immediately has a bit of an issue. A little further back, the 94 slowly picking up spots. Finley up 8 spots since the drop of the green. He's working that outside line pretty well. So, just a little behind him. Things got tight for the 52 of Dylan. Like all are okay there. On board with the 82 of Major, as he is just trying his hardest to do something with the 81 of Martin Blute.
It seems like everybody kind of settled on a one-lane race so far.
Yeah, and that's fairly typical of how a Nashville Super Speedway race is. They may go up a lane here and there, but the bottom is usually the pretty dominant lane. But it's always interesting how those drivers interpret that and what it means for their cars. Another side-by-side battle between Catt and Melillo. Less than 100 laps remaining here at Nashville. Little slide there out of Jeff Price. He's got the 36 of Bevacqua breathing down his neck now. Let's take a look now at the weltsclothing.com through the field as we've got a battle for the lead. As Ryan Shelton quickly being challenged by the 06 of Adam Boislard. Boislard has a bit of a connection blink there. But Boislard started P3. Currently running in first. Ryan Shelton next to him. Great battle for the lead. We're going to keep it here for now. And Joe, don't forget, 3 races in a row. 3 photo finishes in a row. Can we go 4 for 4 here at TNR?
It's been one of those seasons, which is not a bad thing.
That is for sure. Incredible racing all over. And speaking of some incredible racing, Matt Schlosser putting the pressure on the 54 of Ryan Shelton. They're all saying, all right, Ryan, you've led the first 30 laps. Get out of here. Let me go now. Cosmonite SU started second, currently running in fourth. Philip Scott just behind him. There's Ethan Amberg. And then just behind him is Bryce Hedgecock, currently P7. Brandon Finley having himself a great night. +8 positions since the start of tonight's race. Currently running in the 8th spot. Shane Ewing in 9th with Jeff Dillon just behind him, currently running in 10th. There goes Martin Plute, last week's winner in North Wilkesboro, currently getting hounded by the 82 of Menanti Major. With Ace House just behind him, +1 so far out on the evening. One of the biggest movers of the night is the 49 of Mitchell Adams. Started 23rd, currently running in the 14th position. Just behind him, another big mover, Adam Stewart, up 7 since the start of the race. Started 22nd, currently in 15th. With Tyler Cadd currently tied for the biggest mover. Started 25th, currently in 16, +9 on the evening. Jeff Price, just behind him, Austin Wingard involved in that lap 8 incident. But the biggest mover of the race, we said 9 spots. No. It's this guy in the Beer Street Journal Camaro. Stan Hausman started 34th, shotgun on the field. And he's worked his way up to P19, Joe.
Man, what a move. Plenty of race to go.
That's for sure. Just behind him, Jeremiah Vincent tied with the most spots lost thus far. Not including the 9 of Colton Easterday, who is out of tonight's race. Vincent started 10th, currently running in 20th, with Brendan Bookwald just behind him. Justin Malillo had the landscaping excursion earlier in the race. Hasn't really been able to make up much time since that, currently running 22nd. There's Will Ratcliffe, the Ratcliffe Reviews machine in 23rd. Behind him, Tim Branson. Then tonight's sponsor, the 19. The Nudge Printing Ford Mustang, driven by Scott Leonard. The Flying Pig 120 here, brought to you by Nudge Printing. Just behind him is Eric Jeffrey. And then there, just behind Eric Jeffrey, is the 3 of Jason Shu, with Quentin Sylvia just behind them, currently running in the 28th position. Steve Bivacqua just behind those drivers, with Ryan Newman, Ray Payne, and then Mark McFadden ducks his way down onto pit road. That's Through the Field, sponsored by our friends at Welts Clothing. Check them out online, weltsclothing.com.
Wonder what's going on down there for him to be pitting so early. Is he trying the reverse method?
Yeah, he may be trying a 3-stop strategy there, 40, 80, 120. So we'll see if 2 stops is better or is faster than 1. But Joe, right now, Boislard opening up this gap now. About 0.3 separate him from Matt Schlosser. Shelton falls back to 3rd. Boislard 12 laps led. And as you can see, there's just little pockets of racing all over the racetrack. Major still trying to get around Plute.
Really fending him off.
Overall, some phenomenal racing. Here's Philip Scott trying to hold off the 18 of Hedgecock. Looks like Scott Leonard had a bit of a connection issue, as Will Ratcliffe now the next driver to duck down onto pit road with the 2-stop strategy. Austin Wingard just behind him, trying to get some pressure on.
I'd say that's a pretty good amount of pressure.
Yeah, I think so. As Wingard now side by side.
Martin Plute has entered the pits.
So it looks like now everyone's saying, all right, 45 laps. So 44, 88 the rest of the way.
I wonder if it's just tires are starting to give out, because they said 65 with fuel. I wonder, not the case for tires.
Yeah, that's my guess. I mean, this is a track that can be a little more punishing on tires if you're not careful. There's a little bit of contact between these two drivers.
Welts never afraid to trade a little paint.
Certainly not. And, you know, that's one of those things for the 4 that, you know, he's always right there, and he's not gonna back down from a challenge. Good battle here. Coming up on the lap car, the 34. Oh, 3 wide. INSU, Hamburg, and Shelton all coming together. That's the 34 of Ray Payne as Adam Stewart ducks down onto pit road.
Stewart ducked down after he lost that battle. All right, that's it. My tires are cooked. I'm going in.
Just all right. Ryan Newman running a really great line. Just look at this camera shot.
Dude, fantastic.
All brought to you by our friends Track Cams for Gourmets, trackcams22.com. Or you can click on link in the description. Get yourself a pretty good deal.
They are fantastic cameras.
Ryan Newman now onto pit road.
I'm seeing all these signs, and I have a confession.
Oh.
I've never been to a Cracker Barrel.
You know what? It would be absolutely be up your alley. Everything is basically chicken fried or gravy. And some of the best comfort food you'll have.
You could definitely go with it. Gravy.
Little scramble skillet. Some good stuff. And what better place to have a shop before you sit down to eat?
The before is bold.
Like you walk in, it's gift shop, then you go eat, and then you keep going in the gift shop.
I guess it makes sense if you eat, because it's all you can eat, right? Isn't that their whole shtick?
No.
No?
No, just down home
Large.
country cooking.
I guess if you're so full you don't want to shop, they get you in coming early.
And big ol' American-sized portions.
Oh, that's what I gotcha.
The European mind cannot compete.
Yeah, is this to feed a family of 4? No, sir, that's yours.
Yeah, that is your meal, sir. Chicken fried steak the size of your chest. Hashtag
good,
not sponsored, but could be. There's Hedgecock trying to make a move to the inside of Philip Scott. Scott just lets him go. Interested to see if Philip Scott decides to come down pit road soon. Jeremiah Vincent ducks down onto pit road. Meanwhile, leader Adam Boisler opens up a 1.3 second advantage over the 400 of Matt Schlosser. But from Schlosser, looking back, there's a pretty good looking fight for third. Hamburg putting all the pressure on the 5 of INSU.
Yeah. I'm surprised Boisler was able to get such a big lead, because this is a super speedway. Isn't the whole shtick group together, go faster?
At a typical super speedway it is, but with this being a 1.3 mile track and using a heck of a lot more braking, super speedway is just kind of a misnomer.
Gotcha. This is we have super speedway at home super speedway.
Basically. Well, there's also another racetrack in the Nashville area that's called the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. So because of that, you know, you don't want to get the two confused. Short track versus 1.3 mile track. This 94 of Finley really continues to impress as this race goes on. Just slowly, quietly, methodically working his way through. And the biggest question now, who is going to have the better strategy as this race unfolds? The two stoppers who pit on lap 40 and probably will again pit around lap 80, or these guys, the one stoppers that would include everyone from 1st through 23rd. I'm interested to see how that works.
Yeah, especially because these guys that did do the two pit so far are catching up rather quickly, but everybody else in the front of the pack currently is just biding their time to kind of, it's like, it's okay, they're gonna catch us, fine, we gotta wait.
Yeah. I mean, let's face it, Martin Plute last time by, he's on fresher tires. He put on lap 43. Ran a 32.2. Leader did a 32.8. So after a while, those tires kind of plateau a little bit. As now Ryan Shelton ducks onto pit road. Eric Jeffrey just behind him as well. There is one of the Canadian drivers in the field, the 22 of Mark McFadden. Now Scott trying real hard to get around Finley. Peaks high. Can't quite get it done. And he's all over the back bumper of that 94. Wingard ducks down onto pit road. Both INSU and Amberg have gotten around Schlosser as Philip Scott ducks down behind these two on pit road.
As he couldn't quite make it to 65.
Yeah, I guess not. I mean, technically, you just need to make it past 60.
You know, that is true.
So here's Philip Scott compared to the leader of Boislard. There goes Boislard. So Scott goes one lap down. Ace House comes onto pit road. You see that in the background. But now everyone can make it on one more stop, no matter who you are, where you pitted. I'm going to venture to guess the guys who pitted back in the 40s are just sitting there saying, now, all right, come on, guys. Come on, Adam, Ethan, Matt, let's go. Get down pit road. It's our turn to lead.
Come on, get.
Go on, come on. Looking like the NASCAR North Wilkesboro race a couple of weeks ago where Felt like the entire field was pinned a lap down at one point.
I was gonna say the grandpa from Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Go on.
The stupid six, you're making me look bad. Booga 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 booga.
Jeff Price ducks down on the pit road. Now that leaves roughly the top 10, give or take, once cars cycle through who have yet to pit. There goes Martin Plute, first car to fight to get his lap back.
This is the point of the race where everyone is everywhere and nothing makes sense.
Pretty much. May the odds be ever in your favor. That gap now between Boislard and Hedgecock, 5.2 seconds. And now everyone on fresher tires just ganging up on the 06. There goes Cad, there goes the 92. And now here comes Boislard down to pit road. Eric Jeffrey coming down to pit road again. So that's going to transfer the lead over to the 18 of Hedgecock. And Joe, I know we're in the middle of green flag pit stops, but Stan Hausman up 28 spots since drop the green flag.
This is wild.
Is he trying the worst to first challenge? As now here comes Hedgecock to duck onto pit road. Schlosser is going to inherit the lead.
These guys out here trying to go 4 wide. There's still a lot of race left. Just relax.
Yeah, taking a look here at the track map. Matt Schlosser is here in the 400. The 81 of Martin Plute is the first car who has already pit. He's going to have to pit again. However, he won't need to pit for another 15 to 20 laps. So the 81 has to make it basically 2/3 of the racetrack back around to pass the 400. Good battle here between Shelton, Major, and Boislard. All right, Schlosser and Hausman both make their way down onto pit road. That is going to mean the 81 of Martin Plute, when he gets back around, is going to inherit the lead. And I guarantee you right now, if the 81, if I could read the 81's thoughts, he's saying, all right, guys, give me a yellow. Let me trap the majority of the field down a lap once I'm running through here.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's
I'll
yellow,
pit.
yellow, yellow.
And I won't need to worry about any more cautions or tires or anything.
This is when you phone a friend to anyone near
Anyone here, I got a couple of bucks with your name on it? Just saying.
It's so weird. Next week's race is going to be sponsored by name of a driver. It's crazy.
Yeah, next week is going to be a ton of fun at Naval Base Coronado in San Diego. AEW's Battle at the Base. Oh, it's going to be a blast.
Probably
Fun, wild road course.
love road courses. We'll see how Plute fares. Last road course we watched him in, he got the sand pits named after him.
Yeah, the Twin Ring Motegi gravel pits were named the Martin Plute gravel pits. As trouble, the third 131 or 133 rather of Eric Jeffrey slides through the grass. Somehow does not bring out a yellow.
Wild.
How in the world did that happen? Let's take a look here. Looks like him and Tim Branson
That would do it.
came together. Let's take a look here. Oh, 92 just had a much higher rate of speed into the 33 and a little tap. Whoa. That is the biggest non-wreck wreck I've ever seen. Right in front of the leaders, too.
Hit him coming and going.
And then some as Philip Scott now taking a look to the inside of Ryan Shelton. How that wasn't a yellow, I will never know. Good side-by-side battle here between Martin Plute and Philip Scott. Now it's at the point where Plute is on some ancient tires. He pit last on lap 43, whereas everyone else about 20 lap fresher tires.
Yeah, unfortunately for Plute, who's really hoping for a yellow thus far. I'm surprised we didn't get one with the wreck out that we saw, but it's unfortunate for him.
That is for sure. Good battle here between Ace House and Bryce Hedgecock. Hedgecock gets around the 47. Meanwhile, we got 4 cars under a blanket. Major, Shelton, Plute, and Finley. All together here is Plute just having to kind of stop the bleeding a little bit.
You know, I don't know if at this point do you just call it and head towards the pits, or do you just hope that a yellow comes out real soon?
You know, I think part of it too is Plute saying, all right, you know what? I'm up here right now. I'm going to pit in a couple of laps. I'm going to have fresher tires. Maybe something crazy happens. I can, you know, have fresher tires here at the end and go at it from there.
Yeah. Well, that's assuming nobody else decides to also pit.
Very true. Still plenty of racing left. About 40 laps remain here at Nashville Super Speedway. The Flying Pig 120 presented by Nudge Printing. Adam Boislard is your leader. Race recap. Adam Boislard is the leader. 5 lead changes. Cautions 1 for 1 lap is not correct. Only 1 caution, but he ran probably about 4 or 5 laps, maybe 4 laps under yellow. Don't know why it's showing me exactly what it's doing.
I like to keep you on your toes.
All right. Not too humid, 88-degree air temperature. 105-degree track temp. Looks northwestern-ish wind as well. Now here's Finley putting the pressure on Philip Scott, looking for 3rd.
Man, talk about moving up the field. He's up, plus 12 at the moment?
Yeah, plus 12 on the night. He and Mitchell Adams both plus 12. Adams back in 11th.
So far, Stan Hausman's still the biggest mover, up plus 19.
There is Hausman. Currently running in the 15th position. Joe, these drivers just cannot get away from each other. Shelton and Major all over each other.
Yeah, I've been watching this for the last few laps, and yeah, they are not giving an inch.
Little tiny bit of nose damage there on the 54 as well. That might have been from a wall tap. But look at that big move. Here comes the 18 Hedgecock to the inside. Look at that move. Bottom to the top. Hedgecock trying to take that spot away. Can't quite do it. But he does get around Shelton.
Real though.
Now here comes Hedgecock to the inside.
Squeeze him out.
Trying to get something just to disrupt Major's laps and his marks, and well, it definitely worked that time as Hedgecock's going to drive away.
Yeah,
now he's going to have to worry about Shelton again.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Hello, Shelton, my old friend. This one of the tightest battles out on the racetrack currently. Brendan Finley has gotten around Philip Scott.
lately these newcomers with their debut races. It's been a wild ride this season.
Yeah. And you love to see it too. Don't mind me as I punch my microphone as I'm trying to grab a drink of water.
Yeah, I probably did something to deserve it.
This gaggle of cars behind Major has grown quite a bit over these last few laps.
Yeah, they've got some neighbors.
Most of it is for position. There's the 81 of Martin Plute. He has pit.
Yeah, you can tell.
There will be signs.
Yeah, either that or someone decided to put, I don't know, like another extra 90 horsepower turbo in his car or something. It's like when you set the races to easy.
Honestly,
your car has like extra grip and 900 horsepower.
here's another good fight. This one is for 9th. Ace House has it. Jeff Dillon wants it. We'll see if he can get anything going here. Just about 2 car lengths back. Meanwhile, about half a car length separates the 99 of Philip Scott and the 94 of Brandon Finley.
What is crazy is they haven't been able to make any leeway to getting any closer to Boisler.
Yeah, Boisler driven out now to a 5.7 second lead over Ethan Amberg. And this is all about 4 seconds back from that battle. As the 81 of Martin Plute still trying to work his way forward. He is 1 lap down. But if yellow were to come out, he would be the free pass recipient.
So he does have that going for him.
And I think at this point, Tim Branson is a huge Martin Plute fan. He's just saying, all right, Martin, get up there, catch Boisler, pass him so I can be the free pass.
Yeah, let me have this one.
I don't ask for much. Finley currently running in 3rd position. Started 16th. And now the duel comes to Philip Scott to see if he can get around him. Meanwhile, a little bit further back, Shelton, Schlosser, all over each other's back bumper. Shelton also trying to get the 133 of Eric Jeffrey to get a move on, as they're also trying to track down Major.
Ooh.
Oh, a little bit of contact with the 22. Looked like just a matter of wrong place, wrong time, but everyone stays alive. Dylan trying to track down House. Meanwhile, this Hornet's Nest has kind of cleaned out a little bit for now. 54 still trying to catch the 82. Shelton does catch Major. Here he comes to the outside. Can he get the move going here? He does, but Major's going to battle back down low.
Yeah, that was the 133 kind of made an opening by scooting the bottom on that one. So Shelton trying to capitalize off of that.
Got another battle, this time for third. Philip Scott has not left Finley. Philip is fast. He's aggressive. And I can see him trying to make a big move on the 94. Here comes Scott driving it in deep. Closes the gap to about a car length, maybe a car length and a half into the corner. I just don't know if it's going to be strong enough to get alongside of the 94 and stay there.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like Finley has a fantastic line, and it looks like he's in the zone. However, so is Boislard.
Yeah, 4-second lead. Or pardon me, 6-second lead over Ethan Amberg, who's 4 seconds back to this battle.
Man, Boislard looking like he's got some different tire compound.
Yeah, I mean, he is just quick.
Looks like 133. I don't know if they're having any issues or if they just burnt up their tires trying to get ahead, but they are not having a good go at things the last half a lap or so.
Yeah, Jeffrey back in 29th. 10 laps behind the leader.
I I saw him tap the wall coming out of a turn. I wonder if he's just he cooked those tires a little too much.
That very well could be. Like we'd mentioned, this track can be difficult on tires, especially in a long run like we've seen here. One caution came back on lap 8.
Yeah, it's been a very clean race.
And this is the standard for TNR races. Long, clean green flag runs. Oh, and did we mention there are 34 cars out on the racetrack?
Yeah, right now it looks like an ant line in the track map.
Someone cue the Dave Matthews Band, because these ants are marching all over the racetrack. The major Shelton-Schlosser fight continues to rage here with 9 laps remaining. So if we're taking a look here at these cars, Adam Boislard is the leader here in the 06. Brennan Buchwald in the 96 is in 15th. He is the first car 1 lap down, getting ready to pass the 06. Though that may not mean much. 7 laps remaining here at Nashville.
Yeah, I think 2 through, well, realistically, 8 are really hoping to get a yellow, line them up again, get us nice and close. Hopefully we could rain Boislard in for, 6 laps.
Yeah. Honestly, I would venture to say 2 through 15 are all hoping and praying for a yellow.
That is true.
Let everyone come down, get a fresh set of tires, have a short shootout. Maybe more chaos ensues, capitalize on that chaos, and just be there at the end.
Yeah, looks like Justin Malillo entered the pits.
Yeah, he has not had a great night. Back in 27th. "15-second pit stop for the 53. Five laps remaining here at Nashville Super Speedway. It's the Flying Pig 120, presented by Nudge Printing. Now 4 left. Boislard started 3rd. Been all over the front of this race. As you can see, clean track ahead of him. And he is just ticking down the laps, coming to 2 to go this time by. This battle continues to rage on. Schlosser trying to catch Shelton. And Joe, I feel like these guys have been stuck together this entire race.
We're better off for worse.
Ain't that the truth? White flag is in the air one more time around for Adam Boislard. Well, Joe, 3 straight photo finish races. The streak will end here.
Yeah, well, I'd say with a very dominant.
I think dominant is putting it lightly. Laps led for the 06, 86 laps, make it 87. Checkered flag is in the air. Adam Boislard is going to win the Flying Pig 120.
What a showing.
Good battle here. Hedgecock trying to catch up to Philip Scott. Can't quite get it done. Here comes Schlosser. There's your photo finish. Although it's for 6th place between Schlosser, Shelton, and Major. What a race.
Yes, fantastic.
The 06 is going to burn it down.
We ain't need no roads.
As Boislard celebrates. Man, what a string of races this 06 has had. Podiums in almost every race.
Yeah.
So, as the field gets quiet, Joe, I believe you've caught up with our 3rd place finisher driver of the number 94 machine, Brandon Finley.
Hey, Brandon, congratulations on the podium finish here in your debut race at TNR, moving up 13 positions. Walk us through your race.
Yeah, I think you said that debut. And whenever I think debut, I think it's just be calm, right? I don't know these guys. They don't know me. So there's no reason to come out here and overdrive. And then in the same lane, just give people space. And felt like there was good space. And it really was just saving tire. That's all it was. This really eats up that right front. So got there through the race. And really, that was just the mindset the whole time. Be patient, give guys room. And then it panned out well.
Absolutely. And, this was a real long green race. It was 112 lap green stretch. How did you feel your tires kind of worked with you here over the race?
Yeah, I think I certainly ate them up on the start after the first caution, just to kind of be on the outside and get around people. That's just the way to pass. But I think what really helped me was being able to mentally reset on the green flag pit stops. All these guys are going like they're braking, they're changing their entry, their turn in, their brake, and then all of a sudden you got 4 fresh ones on there. And some guys get too quick to qualifying speed and then burn them up too fast. And I think what I did was just kind of manage those tires coming out of the pits, have a good pit entry, get out clean, don't kill them, and then just run folks down.
Absolutely. And now, it's first race here with a podium finish, looking to next week and the rest of the season. You're hoping, or I guess we'll hope, we'll be seeing you a little bit more.
Yeah, I travel for work, so I am just part time here. But if I'm in town, I want to race with the boys, so I'm here. And this is I enjoyed the broadcast from the last time I watched you guys. I think y'all did last week, and then just in general, the racing's been really good. So I'm here to stay if it stays how it is.
Absolutely. And before we let you go, I'm sure you got some shout outs for us.
Yeah, shout out to Hello Kitty. My daughter designed the car for me, so I don't know if that was the scheme it had on your guys's, but
Absolutely.
we were Hello Kitty over there. So shout out to Hello Kitty, my daughter, and then you guys. I always love when guys take time out of their day to do a broadcast. It makes it fun, makes it immersive, and kudos to you guys.
Awesome. Well, congratulations again, and hopefully we'll be chatting with you next week.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's Brandon Finley, our third place finisher here tonight in the Flying Pig 120. I'm now joined by our second place finisher, driver of the number 14 car, Ethan Amberg. And well, Ethan, congrats on the second place finish. A long green flag run. Definitely a good change up from the last couple of races. Tires, I'm sure, were kind of the big topic. How were yours at the end there?
They were getting a little hot. I think I was able to manage the wear pretty well, but they just got hot. You got real tight off the corner. You just had to manage rotation and just try to be gentle with it. Throughout that first one, I noticed that the longer run was definitely my strong suit. People started coming back to me at the start of that or at the end of that first run, so I figured I was going to be in a pretty good spot if I could hold on to it and kind of just stay consistent, which we did, which felt good.
And talking about consistency, a couple of drivers with a few different pit strategies. Fuel window is about 65-ish laps, give or take. Looks like most of the field pitted around then, but there are a couple of drivers who wound up trying the two-stop strategy that just didn't quite pan out. Why do you think that is?
I don't think the tires fell off enough for the two-stop strategy to work, to be honest. I think in total we fell off about a second and a half to 2 seconds, depending on how you were managing your tires, which is quite a bit. But making up the whole extra lap and a half from a pit stop over that short-term gain that you're going to have while your tires are fresh, running people down on old ones just didn't line up. After we got that early yellow, I was probably pretty committed to running that first tank dry, and I think I pit with 2 or 3 laps left in that tank, and tires were still in like the high 30s, low 40s.
Nah, that's not too bad. Now, shifting gears next week, Naval Base at Coronado. A whole completely different ball game there. What are your thoughts about the street course?
I'm excited for it. I love road courses. I like street courses too. I think Coronado is pretty fun and flowy once you really get the hang of it. I haven't driven in this car yet, but I've done quite a few practice laps in the Cup car since we go there on Thursday night for the Cup Series. I think it's going to be a good show. I know there's a lot of guys in here that run really well on the road courses, so I'm excited to see how that racing looks and see what battles come out of it. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I definitely cannot wait for that. And Ethan, before I let you go, I'm sure you have some shout outs, so let's hear them.
Yeah, thanks to the whole field tonight. One caution and 120 laps here on a track that can at times be one and a half, sometimes two grooves ride, depending on the time of the run. It's pretty impressive. So heck of a job to everybody. Had great battles throughout the early and mid portions of the race there with Ryan, Phillip, Cosman before he unfortunately had his connection issues. Thanks to you guys for putting on a fantastic broadcast and all the title sponsors here at TNR that keep the gears running and everything running smooth.
Awesome. Well, Ethan, congrats again on the second place finish, and hopefully we'll be chatting with you next week.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Ethan Amberg, our second place finisher here tonight at Nashville Super Speedway. And Joe, I believe you've made your way down to Victory Lane to pick up our winner, driver of the 06, Adam Boislard.
Hey, Adam, congrats on the blowout victory. What was your strategy going into this?
I knew it was gonna run tight. I know I struggle to keep the tires in a good shape when it runs tight, so my short run pace wasn't good, but I was just trying to focus and practice, just getting the long run pace down. And I thought I was in a good spot, and I pulled out a qualifying lap out of my rear end. I gotta be honest with you. So I put myself in a good spot with qualifying, and then once we got the long run going, I tried to stay on Ryan's bumper and put some pressure on him once I got by him. Just try to manage and try to keep the first run as long as I could. I got the late stop. I came out honestly even further ahead than I thought I would. So got by some people who pitted earlier, like kind of easily actually. and to just try to maintain the gap from there on out. So went well, honestly. Very glad it was not a photo finish this week. Very glad I had a nice comfortable win. But yeah, it was fun out there. It was a good race.
Yeah, speaking of the tires, there was a concrete track. Notoriously, a lot of rubber builds up, especially over a long run. How were you kind of able to keep your tires in such better condition than everybody else on this one?
Just can't overdrive it. Like once you overdrive it even a little bit, once it slides a little bit, like you're cooked. Especially when the track's hot like that, and then especially the second run when the rubber's built up. So I struggled through some traffic a little bit there the second run, but just try to focus on keeping it smooth, and just not cooking it too much.
Yeah, and like you said, you had a giant lead out there for well over half the race. How did you stay kind of locked in uh, without, getting into traffic or having any issues with that?
Yeah, just try to focus on getting a rhythm. Honestly, I don't know if I'm guessing the broadcast caught this, but there was an incident right in front of me, probably 5 or so laps after I pitted. I got nervous that was going to even everything up. My strategy was to overcut and try to build the lead. But once that got through, I think things started to settle down a little bit, got in clean air, and just focus on keeping it clean, keeping the delta at least positive behind me, and just running it clean.
Absolutely. And before we let you go, I'm sure you got some shout outs for us.
Yeah, shout out you guys in the booth. I'm very excited to go watch this back, and just chill and eat some popcorn and not have to worry about losing the photo finish. Uh, shout out everyone out there too. We had a great field, and kept it clean for the most part. Only one caution, and I think the best racing happens once we get the lawn runs out and we get some green flag pit stops in. So, and shout out Ethan and Brandon as well for the podium finish. It was a good run, and hope to run it back next week at Coronado.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again, and hopefully we'll be chatting with you next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, Joe.
All right, that's Adam Boislard, our winner here tonight at the Flying Pig 120 presented by Nudge Printing. Let's get a look now at the final results for tonight's race. Getting the win is the 06 of Adam Boislard, Ethan Amberg, and Brandon Finley, your podium. Philip Scott comes home P4 with Bryce Hedgecock in 5th. Ryan Shelton 6th. Matt Schlosser in 7th. Minazzi Major in 8th. Ace House comes home 9th with Mitchell Adams rounding out our top 10. In 11th is Jeff Dillon, Shane Ewing P12. Stan Hausman comes home in 13th. And in 14th, last car on the lead lap is the 45 of Jeff Price. 15th place is Brendan Bookwald, Tyler Cadd in 16th, Martin Plute 17th, Tim Branson in 18th. 19th is Scott Leonard. Adam Stewart comes home 20th. Quentin Sylvia in 21st. Jeremiah Vincent 22nd. Jason Shue 23rd. Austin Wingard 24th. Steve Bevacqua in 25th. William Ratcliffe 26th. Justin Malillo 27th. Mark McFadden in 28th. Eric Jeffrey 29th. Robert Tripp in 30th, Ryan Newman 31st, Cosmin INSU 32nd, Ray Payne 33rd, and Colton Easterday rounds out our 34-car field for this evening. Well, Joe, that was a ton of fun. We go from the 1.3-mile concrete oval at Nashville to the naval base of Coronado. I absolutely can't wait for that. It's going to be a ton of fun. So make sure you join us right here on the Tabletop Trio Podcast Network next Monday evening, right around 8:25 or so. So for one final time, I'm Bob.
I'm Joe.
And this has been the Flying Pig 120 here at Nashville Super Speedway, part of the Total Nonstop Racing League. Have a great night.